Now, rights activists have condemned the spike in the number of cases of rights violation during the one-month lockdown order in Lagos, Ogun and the FCT. They say the situation has continued unabated despite reported cases and insist that issues of rights violation should be the national consciousness of all. Well, after the first lockdown, the Commission, talking about the National Human Rights Commission, they've been documenting rights violation across the country. According to the Commission, 95 violations in total were received in 27 states, including the FCT. Enugu had the highest violations with 11 violations received, followed by Imo and Delta states. Anambra and Rivers had 4 each. The FCT and Lagos had 5 each. And some of the areas of violations include extrajudicial killing, unlawful arrest, torture, and the likes. Well, joining us on the program right now is a legal practitioner, Mr. Ben Agu, Head Human Rights Violation Monitoring Department. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Millicent. Good evening, viewers.
All right. Mr. Agu, the first phase, when we had the a representative from the Human Rights Commission, he talked about the number of violations that were recorded in the first phase. Now we're seeing this document about the second phase. Comparing the first two, where did we record a lot more incidents of violations, at the first phase or the second?
I think we are recording a more incident this time around because it does seem that the law enforcement officers are actually not working according to their terms of professional engagement.
Looking at some of the reports now, in the first phase, Lagos recorded the highest cases of rights violation with 28 incidents, followed by the FCT 10, while Enugu recorded 9 incidents. And we're seeing Enugu topping the list in the second phase. What's really happening in Enugu, and who are responsible for these violations?
Well, we would actually know why the numbers are up now more in Enugu. But all we need, what we found out is that the law enforcement officers, it looks counterintuitive, so to say, that are supposed to protect and promote the human rights of Nigerians are not doing that while trying to enforce COVID-19 regulations. So making it now to for us to find out in Enugu that they have about 11 incidents of violations in there, most of all involving the police, the Nigerian police.
All right, Mr. Agu, we have a social media video talking about 2 police officers that captured this social media video assaulting a woman in an area in Osun State. Now, the 2 police officers we hear have been dismissed. The statement from the police command says the officers were arrested, tried, and found guilty. This is really, one of the things we're seeing across the country. But essentially, how did you collate in terms of getting perhaps some of these violations across? How much videos did you receive? How much calls did you get in documenting the number of violations? And perhaps finally, what indeed are you doing to perhaps put closure and see that we don't have increased cases of these violations?
Okay, as you are aware, the National Human Rights Commission has offices across the 36 states of the Federation, including Abuja. So we deploy our monitors to work with the state officers in these areas to collect and look at what is happening and revert back to the headquarters to enable us follow the natural, the normal referral paths we have said to make sure that these things are redressed. Actually, we have a kind of referral path through which we follow up to find out who are involved and why they have done what they have done, and of course insist that they face the consequences of their act by their respective employers at different levels of government.
All right. Mr. Ben Agu, Head, Human Rights Violation Monitoring Department, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the program.